Inside your bedroom, we stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm.
First run of 2024. I for real almost just said 2022. Holy moly. Yikes. This is the first of what I'm planning on becoming a once a month self-care vlog. I am quite excited about it. I want to document my running and the things I'm doing just for fun, not even like writing related, the things I'm doing just to enjoy my time for myself. And I thought, what better a way to hold myself accountable than documenting that for YouTube? So that's what I'm doing. I used to do the monthly recap, and so this is kind of taking its place. The monthly recap, fun fact, has moved to Patreon. So if you want exclusive content about my projects, what I'm doing, how my goals are coming, and like the progress I'm making for that, that's on Patreon, along with a bunch of other freebies. So that's that. I'm going on my first run of the new year, and I'm super excited. I set my goals pretty low as far as this goes. Running is something that I do for myself. I feel better mentally, and I also feel better physically when I'm active and running. I love being active, especially running. I love distance running. And I used to run half marathons. I used to run at least just one a year, usually. And I did some marathon training before things got crazy busy, and I slowly tapered off of it, and I miss it. And this year I decided I want to get back to that. I would love to distance run. But the problem when I started to taper off was that I was getting really competitive, which was fun, but I was putting a lot of pressure on myself for an activity that I was doing just for fun. And so I decided in 2024, I want to exercise of any kind twice a week. And most of the time it'll be running, I'm sure, but maybe I get really, really busy and my self-care activity, exercise activity that week is just like a 30-minute walk. That would also be okay. I'm going to count that. So I am excited. Let's go run. Holy, am I just really annoying? Probably. So as I get ready to hop on this run, let's just talk for a minute. So far, all the self-care, taking time for myself, mantra goal for 2024 has been really successful, but I've discovered something this week that plays in a little bit to my work with like my therapist, but also just things I've noticed about myself when it comes to doing it all, because I'm trying to do it all. Number one, you can't do it all, at least not all of the time. That I've known. However, I realized months ago that so much of the time, I find myself literally, I'm not even kidding, literally running around the house, trying to accomplish tasks as fast as possible because in my brain, I don't feel like I have enough time. And this is something I have struggled with for a very long time. I've actually done quite a bit of therapy around this whole idea of time and making sure I have the time and that I'm not late and that I get things done on time. So this is not a new concept for me, but when I discovered that I am literally running around my house, trying to get everything done, it was adding a ton of stress to my life. And not only that, but I have discovered this week, I made myself slow down. So when I caught myself doing that, getting my heart rate up and stressing out, I told myself, you do have enough time, even if that means staying up like 30 minutes later than normal just to do it all, you have the time. So this week, when I've caught myself trying to rush around and accomplish things, I've stopped myself and I've made myself slow down. Literally, like, stop running around the house to go pick up the laundry. Just walk there. Things like that. And I'm right. I do have the time. And I've been stressing myself out for nothing. So really what it is it's a matter of me seeing this great big long list of things to do, seeing the list for the day, and immediately feeling overwhelmed because the list looks long, right? I can think of all these things I need to do today, and that's stressful. But if I tackle them and just focus one at a time, because when it really comes down to it, if I don't get the whole list done, it is not going to be the end of the world. It just means that it's added to tomorrow, or it's stuff that will get done eventually, and it's not that big of a deal. So making myself slow down has been hugely helpful in not only like accomplishing things and doing them well versus rushing through them and not feeling great about the product, but also my stress level has been so much lower this week. And I actually feel a lot more energetic this week. And I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, I'll be honest. I've been staying up super late just because I'm struggling to go to sleep. About once every month I go through like a period of insomnia, and I'm in one of those right now. Plus I'm going back to work, so I'm trying to get back on a work schedule. So it's working. So I'm feeling good. Getting ready to do run number 2 of 2024. I'm only going for a mile. Alex is inside prepping lunch. He's making steaks, which sound amazing, especially after a run. So I'm gonna get to that, go inside, enjoy lunch and some quality time. And then I think some friends are coming over for a bit. So let's do it. All right. Yes, we are sitting on the bathroom floor. It just felt right. I need to talk a little bit about things. So I originally designed this vlog. I have to get the camera right here. There we go. That's a little better. I originally designed these video vlogs mostly for accountability for myself, because I have not been doing the last year. I've not been doing a good job taking care of myself, like mentally and even physically to a degree. I'm not taking time for myself like I should, and I'm allowing stress to get the best of me. And so I thought, because I like to talk about these kind of topics, I've always been really forthcoming about my mental health struggles, the fact that I have kind of been having mental health struggles the last few months because of my stress and workload. And I think I have been putting a lot of pressure on myself where I didn't need to. I think a lot of it is that I carried for the longest time, and I think a lot of that is just my upbringing in part, and society also a little bit, that I've carried this belief that work really hard now so you can work a little less later, and that hard work pays off, and that it would pay off for me pulling the really, really late nights and trying to do the most with my books and putting out as many books as I could, because in the indie author world, at least the last few years, I think that's changing a little, but in the last few years, there's been such this push and this discussion among authors about rapid release as a strategy and being a really strong one. I do think that that is changing slightly, but rapid release still is a really good strategy if you can do it. And that's the thing, if you can do it. And quite frankly, I cannot. I've known that. And I was not intending to rapid release. That was not what my goal was ever with publishing and with how I have released my past books. But I do think that the idea of getting as much out as I can and working really, really hard, and I want to be full-time. That's, I mean, like the bottom line, the big dream for me would be to, I want to work for myself. whether that's primarily being an editor or primarily being like, I don't know, whatever this stuff is, being online. I would love for it to be being an author, being my main income, but the goal has always been that I want to be a full-time author and be doing that with most of my time. And so I think I had this idea in my head that kind of fake it until you make it. And if you put in the hard work and you put in the hard work now, then that'll pay off in the future. And I think that I have just been basically working myself into the ground. I'm not burnt out at all on this stuff. I love being on YouTube. That has been kind of an interesting outlet I did not expect. I really like this. I like being online. I like all of my social media presence. I like the communities that we've built there, and the people that I've like met along the way. I love the writing. That has never been a question. I adore that. I love writing my books. I love publishing. It has been a lot of fun, but I think that I'm just trying to do way too much of it, and I'm doing myself a disservice as a result. And I have had to do a lot of reflection for myself this week, especially. And because it's the end of January, and we set those goals at the beginning of the year, in the beginning of this month. And one of them was publish 3 books a year, right? Because I did that last year, and it was my most successful goal in 2023. It was not hard at all to do that. And I just assumed that's oh, that'll be effortless. Let's just put that in there because I know I can check that off. It'll be something I for sure can check off, when last year you didn't check off as many goals. Well, I have changed my mind a little. I think that in order to be happy and to do the things I want to and have the time for myself and for my family and for my little guy, I think that I need to adjust some things in my life. And for the very first time in a long time, I think it has to be my writing. And I hate that. The last few days have been really rough thinking about that. I've had some conversations with myself, with my husband, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to publish less and write less. But here's the thing I've had to discuss with myself. Just because I'm publishing less, I'm not writing less. I'll still be writing because it's what I do. That's what I do for fun. That's what I do for myself. I'll still be doing that. I just won't be doing the publishing things as intensely. What I mean is I'm spreading it out. So I'll still be doing all those things. It'll just be spread out further. So what that means is, as some of you probably have already seen, I will be moving my publication date for Curse of Wings in Darkness from May 21st to October 1st. So I'm pushing it back by like a whole season. And as I started thinking more and more about the time freedom this is going to give me, and this is a new era for me, and not just in the realm of publishing. I've been using that as kind of like my tagline for a while now. New era of Amy Prokopis publishing. And yes, it is a new era of writing for me. I'm writing more adult books, but it's a new era for me personally as well, and professionally, because some things in that area are going to change also, and I'm really excited for that change. But in order to do it all and to do it all right, I need the time. So that is what I will be doing. So I will be doing like a whole update vlog video for YouTube. So don't worry, you'll get more interesting things regarding especially that book, because I love that book. I'm really excited about it. But this is a self-care thing. And this is me being real with myself about the things that I can do and what I can afford to do, honestly, because that's kind of what it's coming down to. I cannot afford to lose sleep anymore. I can't afford to not enjoy my free time, and I can't afford the stress that it, I think, has now kind of put on some of the people around me. I can't afford that. And I refuse to spend the rest of my life stressed out doing some of the things I am. So I am going to make a change. And in order to make some of those changes, I have to first slow down the writing, because I have to take the time. So long story short, a lot of this has nothing to do with my writing in general, like in my author stuff. Like, I am not at all stressed out with this. It's the way my work life functions, like my other job, the way that ties into this and the time that takes, and the toll that takes, and the fact that in order to do both, I'm having to sacrifice my free time and quality of time. So it really has not a lot to do with my writing world, in the writing space. But in order to get more of that and to make the most of my writing life and prepare for what I want the new era of Amy Prokopis Publishing to look like, I need to slow down first so I can make changes in the other, like in my other spaces. So like in my work life outside of writing and my personal life outside of writing. Those things are what need to change. But in order to do that, I have to make more time for myself. So this has been a really long segment. I apologize, guys. Thank you for all of your support, especially the last few months. I have been open about how I've struggled. I took some time off in December, and I'm getting my LPC. I'm getting a license to be a professional therapist. Mental health is kind of my thing, aside from writing, and mental health ties into my writing a lot, because that's how I build a lot of my characters, is that kind of mental health space. So it makes sense for me to talk about it in general, but I feel like in order to break down the taboo, and in order for us as a society to we can preach all we want about how we need more mental health counselors and we need more mental health services, but if we're not going to be open and honest and listen to people when they express that they struggle, and if we're not going to be non-judgmental about some of the behaviors and stuff that people display when they are extremely stressed out and need help, then we're doing a disservice to ourselves. So that's why I'm open and honest about it. So I'm going to stop rambling now, because this is getting really strange. Anyway, thank you guys for all of your love and support. Let me know in the comments what's going on with you. How are you feeling? Do your own mental check-in, even if you don't leave it in the comments. You do not have to do that. Please don't do that. I am not providing services. But check in with yourself, please. Go take a bubble bath after you watch this video. Maybe you go pour a cup of coffee. I don't know. Don't sit on your bathroom floor like I am. And thank you for watching. Check out my links below. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!